Hey guys, it's Anna, and today I'm going to show you a much requested tutorial of one way to make a PDF into something that students can complete digitally. I have hesitated to make this because, of course, worksheets are not our best instructional practice, but I know there are some quality PDFs out there that you may want your students to work on. So I'm going to show you one possible way to do this. There are a couple different ways. I think this one is a little easier for students in general, although it can, I was going to say it can cause issues for students with visual impairment, but it actually makes this activity not work at all for someone with visual impairment. So you would not use this if you have visually impaired students. But I'm going to open a PDF that is a worksheet here on my desktop. Now notice I'm opening that from where it's saved on my computer, and it's opening into Adobe Acrobat. You do not want to open it from Chrome, for instance, if it's something that you downloaded from Chrome, because you won't have the capabilities that you need. It needs to open in Adobe Acrobat. If you find that you do not have Adobe Acrobat on your computer, like you only have Adobe Reader or the file won't open on your computer for some reason, please put in a ticket and Robbie or I can give you the directions to add Adobe Acrobat to your computer, because that's a self-service thing that you can do. So I'm in my PDF. This is actually just a one-page document. I'm going to go to File, Export to, Image. You can choose either JPEG or PNG. It does not matter which one you choose. I'm going to choose JPEG. Choose where I want to save it and note where that is so I can find it later. I'm going to save it on the desktop, and it just gives the same name and puts .jpeg on the end instead of PDF. Click Save. And it had a little bar down here to show me it was processing, and there it is. It's an image. So this was a one-page worksheet. If you had multiple pages, it's going to save each page as its own image. So if you have something that's a lot of pages, number one, that's going to take longer to save. But number two, you may want to choose to save those inside of a folder so that you can keep everything tidy. So I'm going to go over to Chrome, and I want to start a new presentation, a Google Slides presentation in Chrome. I could go to Google Drive and do New and choose Google Slides, but I'm going to use a shortcut today. So from any tab in Chrome, I'm going to type in the address slides.new. It also works if you do slide.new with no S, but that's just a shortcut way to open a new presentation. Then I need to change the page size and orientation. So this is a landscape or horizontal page, and I need it to be vertical to match that worksheet. So I'm going to go to File, Page Setup. Whatever's in this drop down, you're going to change to Custom, and then type in the measurements that you need. Most pages are 8.5 by 11. The one that I'm using is actually slightly different, but I think this will still work. And Apply. I want to get rid of everything that's already on this page. One way to do that is to go to Layout and choose Blank down at the bottom. Or you can just delete everything on the page. A quick way to select everything on the page instead of like clicking into the box and then trying to get on the line to select it. If you'll click somewhere off to the side and drag a rectangle, in a lot of programs that works to select multiple things. Drag a rectangle around everything you want to select. And in Google, it's even a little easier because you can click and just drag over the edge of something and it selects it. I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard, or you can use backspace, and now I've got a blank page. So I need to add in that PDF image that I saved. I'm going to click background, choose image. I'm going to find where I saved that image and make sure you're picking the JPEG, not your PDF version. Open and click Done, and there's my PDF. So now I need to add a place that students can type, and I'm going to use text boxes to do that. So in the toolbar, this is the text box tool. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to draw a box starting at the upper corner where students will type. And I'm going to keep doing that for each place on the page where I need students to type. These boxes are all about the same size, so when I draw one box there, I'm going to select the box by clicking on the edge of it, and I can do copy, Control C on my keyboard, or you can go to edit and choose copy, and then paste, Control V. There we go. It didn't copy the first time. And then I can keep pasting. I don't have to copy again. I can keep pasting it and dragging it to where I want. Once I get a whole row of them where I want, I can select the whole row, and I'm clicking and dragging again like I showed you before. Copy and paste to get the whole row pasted at once, and paste again. And I noticed when I was practicing this that this row down here is a little taller, but if I leave them all selected, I can actually click and just drag them a little taller like this. Now they all match. Down here at the bottom, when I make text boxes, there are multiple lines to write on down here. I'm not going to worry myself too much with lining my text up with those lines. In fact, what I'm going to show you in a second is going to kind of cover up those lines because as students type, the typed text is not necessarily going to be the same size that it would have been if they had handwritten it. Okay, so I have added text boxes in all the places where students need to type. You might notice that when nothing is selected, you don't see any of those text boxes where I'm supposed to type. So I could actually just like click here and start typing, but I might want to give a visual signal to my students to let them know where they're supposed to type. So a quick thing I can do is select all of my text boxes at once. And again, I'm clicking and dragging over the whole page to find all the text boxes I made. There they all are. And I can highlight them for the students in some way. One easy way to do that is to fill it with a light color. So like maybe fill it with light blue. And then in your directions, you could say, students, type your answers in the blue boxes. You could do whatever color you want. Now, when I do a fill color, I don't know if you noticed, if I do a fill color, it actually covers up what's behind the text box. So down here, you can't see the lines to write on. For my use, that would be fine because I don't need them to see those lines. But if that bothers you or messes up your page in some way, you don't have to do a fill in. Instead of doing a fill color, I can leave it transparent and I could do a line color instead. So maybe have a orange line around each box. Say students type into the boxes, the orange boxes. And just so you know, this was something that bothered me. When I clicked on the text box initially, I noticed it doesn't have the little blinking cursor line, so it made me think I couldn't type there. But even if I just click it once, if I go ahead and start typing, it does fill it in. Even though you don't see that blinking cursor line there, that's okay. So that's the basics of how you're going to make this document fillable for students. Now, a couple things. One is when you share this with students, you want to share it so each student gets their own copy. And there's separate directions for that. So I'll make sure those directions are linked for you also. And the second thing is, if you're trying to share this in eClass, you're going to want to share it as an external link or an external resource if you're in the content area sharing it there. Because if you embed it into your eClass content so that when they go to content, they see this without popping out into Google, they will not be able to type on it or edit it. So use it as an external resource so it pops open in a new window when they click that link. You can embed this type of activity into an assignment in eClass as well. You would just add an attachment to that assignment and then choose link as the type of attachment. So I hope this is a quick fix for you to be able to use some PDFs you've got saved during digital learning. Let me know if you have any questions, guys.